G'day, we are back playing my Discover the World started in Australia as we try and address this major problem. So we've done that, and that's gotten out of hand, so I've done this. But I'm not sure, I mean it's very early days, but I'm not sure that enough people are actually going that way to get to South America. So I wonder if there's some adjustments that I should make that will make this sort itself out faster. Let's just get John Paul connected there. I do need to keep adding planes to this. I wonder if what I could possibly do as this gets worse and worse is disconnect Melbourne from the rest of the world. Make all of these guys connect up through Sydney. And then force everyone else to go through Italy to get there while Melbourne clears house. I think that might be an idea we can try. See how bad it gets. We'll see if Rome does actually take the burden. We can see people are getting dropped there, so there definitely is some movement. But I don't know if maybe there's a line, say somewhere here, where people think it is still easier to get there through the Arctic, which if you look at these connections, they do not look shorter than that one route in. So primary thing here is just keeping an eye on Melbourne. I reckon, I was gonna say once I hit 28,000, it's just about now. Alright, well what we're gonna do then is I'm gonna move all of Melbourne's dependents I'm gonna give to Sydney. And we're gonna disconnect everyone from Melbourne to try and remove that pressure at least to start with. See if that helps. Keep an eye on it until it hits, say, 29,000. Because in the meantime, what we can do is just sort of make some money to prepare this guy for taking a lot of passengers on. But at the same time as well, what we probably need to be doing is opening more countries to try and get across Africa or across somewhere so that we can get these proper airlines made. Get Cape Verde into the mix. But I mean, you can see how far away Cape Verde is going to be. Possibly, it could very well be the last country in this layout. Now, I do have to keep an eye on it. Upgrade him to, I don't know why he's only 1,000 still. Can still see there are red planes on their way. So, still a lot of traffic coming here. Sort of drop down there a little bit. Cost us $50. Sure. How are we looking? Yeah, we're hovering around here. If it does drop 27, or if we go up over 29, they're more likely the latter. That guy did come through and sort of held pretty well there. But again, you can still see that there's a lot of red planes on their way down that way. How are you looking, Rome? Oh, Rome's not looking busy at all. Alright, let's get Hungary in. Colombia, so that's going to put even more pressure on our planes going over that way. That guy's going to drop a few, and then that guy's going to go back. We just went up over 29,000. Let's test this out. Let's go. I don't want to lose that plane. I'm going to let that guy land. And with that guy landed, I'm going to say, sell this route. So now Melbourne's disconnected. You can get to Melbourne. Melbourne, I say Melbourne's disconnected, but you can get to Melbourne on the longest journey that you like. This is probably about 2 hours to drive from Melbourne to Bendigo. But what you can do is you can travel around the Arctic, around all of the world, and get to Melbourne still. So there won't be people just sitting at airports, just like slowly getting built up for that. We are going to try and shift all the traffic in the world, and that's going to cause this guy to have headaches too, because a lot of traffic's going to get dumped on him. So I kind of feel like we need to save a little bit of money here to factor in for these guys that are about to suddenly have these thousands of people pushed onto them, because this guy has 30,000 people to deliver. Now what we probably also want to do then is we want to improve the quality of the planes getting out of Rome. We want to make sure that people aren't just waiting in Rome to get out. That probably also means Sophia's going to need improvement. See that Rome now shifting red planes. That plane's not entirely full as well, which is a pretty good sign. Again, this isn't a permanent fix. Like, what we can do at any point, if this gets really bad, is we can reattach Melbourne. It's not that expensive to do it. It is just... sorry, I did not see you there. Uh-oh. I guess I can just upgrade you, can't I? Well, you are just going to be a little offshoot. Because there's nothing in the very south of South America, it doesn't seem like it would be worth bouncing them up. It would only be if there was, say, if we had the Falkland Islands, which I guess I'm surprised we haven't gotten. Problem is that that's now going to cost me my entire money that I have. Right, so at least it doesn't make you then pay double the amount so that your lawyers cost nothing in this. See that these guys are going to struggle. Not a great time to run out of money. I guess quick question, how are you doing? You can see this is how slowly this guy moves people out. But that is going to be a long time of Melbourne being disconnected to clean that up. It's going to be an expensive infrastructure thing to get all these planes shifting, because what would have happened is that there would have been a lot of planes that were already en route to Melbourne that have now had to be redirected. But at least once they hit here, we can sort of fan them out a little bit more. get us say connected. I do feel like I do need to jump to attention for these. Now we can see that the things that need to be busier is this. So let's buy them a 5th plane. Like I said, I'm not sure if I have said, I don't want to make a connection across here, but I want to go through Oman so that that route doesn't have to be too long. I know how long we just sit waiting on Colombia, because it's surprising that Brasilia needs some love. Part of this is going to be like, well, how long can this whole thing sustain? Like, how are you still getting more people? Like, am I going so slowly that I'm just not seeing like, I mean, there's slowly people building up there that want to go to other places, but surely you're not going faster than it takes a plane to arrive in Melbourne. How busy this connection is, but I really want to get a connection along the bottom here, especially if I could get all the way down here. Karachi is struggling. Just to give Karachi another option out. How many planes have you got? Have you that 5th plane as well? He's going up. He's still going up. Really what we need to do now, I think, is make this... I don't know, I was going to say make that a connection so that some of the traffic will go on an alternate route, but I'm not sure if they would. Is this just because Melbourne is such a big airport, it's got such a huge amount of people, it wants to shift? Like, it gains people faster because it's a level 10 airport? Because it is gaining people faster than the 600-person planes are taking them away. And if that happens, then I have to connect Melbourne back to Sydney, and all of those people have to connect out through the other way, because otherwise Melbourne is just never going to... it's never going to get smaller. A weird little issue. So possibly Rome was doing the job even without disconnecting Melbourne. It's just Melbourne can't handle anyone going there. I can already see we've got a huge backlog here, and worst part is that we've made no progress in getting any better connections, because we've only just opened the 2 countries. Cool. What we really needed was more passengers. We'll upgrade these guys because this is our primary line up through South America still. Slovakia, so another country is not really going to be any help to us. Really want Oman, or Libya, Spain. Yeah, southern French islands. Give me this guy, please. He's about to crack. Alright. So let's do this. Let's go this route, but I'm going to give you 3 level 4 planes. Maybe I've gone overboard with that too. And I'm going to disconnect Still haven't connected that guy. I'm going to disconnect that route. I can afford that one. Alright, now what happens? That guy's gonna... Those people are gonna take a long journey down there to discover they've just got to come back. So the idea here is that these are going to be smaller planes, only moving 300 people at a time, delivering to Sydney, which is a relatively small airport. Why are you not taking anyone? Can't get through this way anymore. I'm more confused now. Why are they not taking people up and across? Well, let's go to the extreme. Let's sell that route. Now will you move people? There we go. Basically what we're going to try and do here. Now just move all these people slowly through the network. We don't want to give Melbourne too big access to big planes. We want it to be just enough that it's not going to overwhelm itself, but we don't want it to start overwhelming cities like Sydney. We have another stamp. But at the same time, we can also see that Rome is getting pretty well overwhelmed. Let's do some quick country open ups. Kosovo is in there. UAE, it's sort of a bit more in where I want another airport. Alright, we're starting to win the battle with Melbourne. Sorry, as well, I forgot this guy. Gonna need to be connected to. Drag me about when I try and click on him. I wonder also, because that's such a big airport, it'll also generate a lot of passengers. I never really considered that possibly having big airports generates a lot of passengers. So far this has gone pretty well for how slowly we're trickling guys out of here. You can see that every plane heading north is red, but he's not holding too many people. So that's not too bad, but eventually all of that is going to get to Rome. And Rome's already struggling with its capacity. We do actually have to make some, come up with a solution for this soon. Venezuela's a nice get. That's going to put us slightly further up in South America. Pretty good spot, but that would actually be my preference for where we would go from Rome to there. Sorry. So that's 34, that's 36, so that becomes a shorter route. Whether or not we can afford that. Also, I'd love to get Spain in there. So, I mean, we can get Venezuela and then see what's coming up after it. Because then potentially better than Spain would be any of the islands, and all of them are individual. Here's up and down nice and calmly. In a way that actually what I want to do is I'm going to sell one of these planes. I want to slow it down even further. Melbourne's not the problem anymore. The problem is moving all of these through the network. So we just want to very lightly and calmly have them move at a very steady pace. And if we're getting these planes arriving faster than Melbourne can deliver planes, that's where we want to be. Because ideally what we want is we want Sydney to not have to be pushing full planes out every time. And we just want to see Melbourne slowly calm down into a very normal airport. It's definitely doing it at the moment. Alright, time for Venezuela. Even a really nice location for that city. Right on the north. Then we're going to get Oman, the other one that we were wanting to help our network. See those red planes moving all the way through. Rome's going to need an upgrade. Oh, this is a situation to sweat out too. The other thing that I could actually do now is I could just cut Melbourne off completely. The Brasilia. I'm not sure if Brasilia needs the upgrade more urgently than Italy does. Guy just arrived, I think. I don't want to upgrade either of the two airports yet until one of them flat out panics and says, like, I need an upgrade, because otherwise I'll just try and get to 20,000 and then upgrade both. Because otherwise I'll upgrade the one that needs it when it starts to panic. You can see this guy's getting real close again, but right on time. Okay, so I really want Oman. So Oman is my next goal. Then my next goal after that is changing where Rome's going to and get them to go to Venezuela. Although maybe I should focus on that first. It's more about getting this connection through the bottom so that not everything has to go through Turkey. So a lot of this is passengers heading north. Understandable, Athens. Very understandable. Give him a least one more. So now 6 weeks where we can't, we don't want to be opening new routes. So I guess now we're just going to be forced to save a little bit of money. That's probably the consequences of all these slowly coming out of Melbourne. Melbourne's looking happy at least. And nice to see that Sydney isn't having to send full planes. Once I hit that route, they seem to be getting stacked here. How busy this route is here. We really want to fix that, because you can see that that's a real out of the way going, so everything heading to Europe from Asia has to take this one route. Good. Connecting cities, so you can probably be a little bit bigger than 100 people. I was just sitting like that. That's right, because that place isn't going anywhere. If you head south, you're unhappy because of this route there. You can see the amount of traffic that you're having to push through. Rome's slowly getting bad. We definitely do need to help Rome. I mean, one thing that we can factor in with Rome is that this is going to be really skewed because of punishment, the debuff we have at the moment. But I could sell that route for 36,000, which I normally wouldn't, because it's the double buff thing that's causing that to be so expensive, right? If I sell that route before this ends, then I'll get twice as much money for it as I would if I didn't. Because the route currently costs 50,000, whereas it will only cost 30,000 otherwise. I'm gonna sell it. You're gonna correct yourself in the next 17 seconds. Take it. Let's let 10 more seconds. So let's just do this on a quick test to someone else. So, because I'll be curious anyway. So we say this route here, 6,000 is what we would get if we'd sell it. That route right there. Okay, we click on this route, I say sell it. We then wait for these 3 seconds to go by. That route's now 4,000. So we did get way more money for it because we sold it during busy route. That route's now cheaper than the one that I sold the other one for. So I feel like that Pretty good move. Because there's so many people waiting here to go already, there is no problem with me just doing a quick stack of planes taking everyone out. This is just gonna correct some of this at least. Didn't do that while it was paused, so he's not going to take a full lot. Just going to be a pain. And now we have a really long period where we've got to wait for someone to come back, and this could be disastrous. But the route is shorter, and that's nice. So let's... well, we can't really do that yet. But let's just have a quick look at Melbourne. Happy. Now, we're also going to suddenly have these guys lose their minds. The amount of people that are suddenly going up this backbone. All the people being shifted from Brasilia. But this is where we'll find ourselves as we end this one. Further into South America, no closer on Europe or Africa. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. And until next time, catch you later. See ya.